Hello and welcome. My name is Matthew Swerdloff. I'm the co-founder of the Maya Gold Foundation and one of the trainers that will be bringing the Teen Mental Health First Aid program to your school or community. This video is designed to provide a short overview for you as a parent, community member, or an educator on the program, its goals and methods, and what you can expect for the students or children that will be taking the training. Teen Mental Health First Aid is being brought to you by the Maya Gold Foundation in partnership with Mental Health First Aid USA and the National Council for Mental Wellbeing. Both of those latter organizations are the national sponsors for this training. A quick little bit about the Maya Gold Foundation. The Maya Gold Foundation was incorporated in 2016, just a few months after my daughter, Maya Gold, took her life by suicide in 2015 in her sophomore year of high school. The mission of the Maya Gold Foundation is to empower youth to access their inner wisdom and realize their dreams. And with that mission in mind, we are bringing this teen mental health first aid training to the community and the school, as we feel it is very, very valid and relevant and important for teens. We offer many, many options and programs for teens. You can find out more about all those on our website, but today we're going to focus on teen mental health first aid. The Maya Gold Foundation currently has 6 individuals certified by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing to offer the teen mental health first aid training. Depending on the scheduling in your school or community, you may see one or multiple of us offering the training. Along with myself, Elise Gold, co-founder of the Maya Gold Foundation, is certified to offer the training. Jesse Sarubi, Jim Tinger, Andy Blad, and Michelle Linneman. We're all happy and eager to bring this training to your school and community center. A little bit about the program history. Mental health first aid and youth mental health first aid and teen mental health first aid all came out of the research being done in Australia in the early 2000s around providing mental health services to folks who either could not afford them or that were facing stigma around seeking them or just did not have access to mental health providers in their region. Around 2001, 2 individuals developed the mental health first aid curriculum, and it was designed to train adults to support other adults who were facing a mental health challenge or crisis. Around 2009, the program was expanded to a new curriculum called Youth Mental Health First Aid. Youth Mental Health First Aid trains adults who work with young people. So it trains school teachers, school staff, anybody in healthcare that works with young people, and it gives them the tools and resources to support young people in need of mental health. The most recent version that we're here talking about today is Teen Mental Health First Aid. It was developed in 2019. It was piloted in 2020 in the United States in a handful of large school districts. And then later in 2020 and early 2021, the Maya Gold Foundation applied for and was accepted as the only site in the Hudson Valley to be able to offer the Teen Mental Health First Aid training. Teen Mental Health First Aid is, to my mind, very, very relevant and very important right now. And it is designed to train teens to support other teens facing a mental health challenge or crisis. So very, very simply, it really gives teens the tools to help each other, to help their friends and their colleagues facing a challenge or crisis. The program goals and methods, very, very direct. The first step in the training is to define what a mental health challenge or crisis is, and we talk about that on a spectrum from healthy to crisis. And we really emphasize that this is something that we all go through. We all face various crises and challenge, and the key part of this training is how to recognize a challenge and crisis and how to support a friend. One of the major goals of this training is to reduce stigma around mental health issues. Many young people still Even though mental health services in our region are widely available, many people still feel stigma around being identified as having a mental health issue or seeking support. So we do that by naming various conditions and challenges and crises, and by normalizing them, by talking about how common they are and how many people face those challenges and crises. We talk about suitable language related very much to stigma. We talk about how to discuss mental health issues in a responsible, respectful, and mature way. We instill awareness of common mental health symptoms. So while we are very clear that teens are not assigned or asked to diagnose their friends or use clinical definitions, we do want them to be aware of some of the common mental health symptoms because it's helpful. It's helpful to see them and name them and understand how they develop and how they affect teens. We train teens on suicide awareness, trauma, violence, and bullying. These are all issues that are very, very prevalent in high schools today, and we again give teens an opportunity to discuss them without stigma and in a mature and respectful way. Very, very key to this training is the concept of recovery and resilience. And while much of the content can be challenging and even hard for young people to deal with, we always end on an upbeat note and a positive note, emphasizing their ability to recover and to be resilient and to move through a challenge and crisis into a healthy state of mental well-being. Key to this training is the role of a trusted adult. Again, we do not expect teens to diagnose or provide mental health services to their friends. We expect them to be empathic and good listeners and support their friends and to get their friends help with a trusted adult. And a trusted adult is not necessarily a professional. It can be, but it could be a parent, it could be a relative, it could be a coach, a counselor, a teacher, anybody that they feel they trust that can offer support and get them to the appropriate support that's needed. The program, just like a traditional first aid, offers a very simple sort of mnemonic device that I'll share in a few moments, but we call it the 5-step action plan, and it's designed to help teens kind of remember the set of steps to take when supporting a friend, when seeing that a friend is in crisis or challenge. We use a combination of didactic and experiential methods. So each of the sessions has some lecture. One of the certified trainers will be delivering some content via a lecture, but there's also many opportunities for group work, individual work, reading independently, discussing art that's related to the content, and it's designed to not to try and engage teens by not just being a traditional lecture. And we provide time for reflection, activities, and there's a lot of discussion in the program. Very, very key and important to all of us that are delivering the training is we model, honor, and support honest, open communication. We try as much as we can to allow teens to express their voice around these issues. While we want the information to be factually correct and accurate, we also understand that there's a lot of feelings around this and a lot of feelings around what's happening in schools and the challenges that teens face. So we want to give them an opportunity to discuss and share those in a safe space. So this is a course outline. Traditionally, the teen mental health first aid training is offered in over 3 days, and in each day are 2 sessions. This may look a little different in your school or community setting depending on how the training is scheduled, but typically day 1, session 1, we talk about what a mental health challenge is, essentially defining mental health and mental health challenges. Session 2, we talk about what is appropriate help. Professionals and trusted adults can all offer professional help, and we define that and brainstorm who those people are and how we might access them. And by the way, there's also, throughout all of the training sessions, are videos created by real teens who have been through various crises and challenge, and they talk about and share their experience dealing with all of these content areas. In day 2, session 3, we focus on helping a friend who is suicidal. And this is a very frank and blunt conversation that we have. We talk about signs and symptoms and how to take a friend seriously and how to get help when it's needed. In session 4, we talk about other types of crises that a friend might be in: panic attacks, self-injury, trauma, bullying, and violence, and how to be supportive and how to get help. And then on the third day, session 5, we talk about different issues, including substance use and a friend who might be developing a challenge and how to kind of head that off and help them. And the last session, the last part of the third day, we really dive into this idea of recovery and resilience. We want the teens to leave this training feeling hopeful and positive, and that they're armed with the tools that will help them to not only help their friends, but to help themselves. One of the things we talk about a lot throughout the training is self-care and how to take care of yourself and how to de-stress and focus on your own mental health. So this is next 6 slides are a little bit of a dive into the outline I just went through. So I'm just going to click through them and talk briefly about each of them. So again, session 1, mental health challenges. We talk about factors that increase the likelihood, including genetic predisposition, and how trauma and social media can affect mental health challenges. And you can see on each of these slides, there's a piece of artwork. So these slides are actual slides from the presentation that we use. And the artwork is something we use as a conversation starter and a warm-up for each session. And the artwork is related to the content that we cover. Session 2, again, mental health challenges, how to get help. We talk about stigma. We introduce the topic of recovery and resilience and different types of help. One of the key points of session 2 is the concept of a circle of support. And we have the teens spend some time preparing a list of 5 trusted adults that they could turn to if they needed to, either for themselves or for a friend. In session 3, we talk about the importance of getting help early as a way to head off later crises that your friends might be experiencing. We define what a crisis is and the difference between a crisis and a challenge, and this is where we begin to introduce the 5-step action plan, and we address how to help someone who is suicidal. In session 4, we talk about other types of mental health crises, as I said: panic attacks, which are very common, self-injury, trauma, bullying, and violence. We practice using the Teen Mental Health First Aid Action Plan to various different crisis situations. And we talk about some of the dangers and benefits of giving help online or by text as opposed to in person. We recognize that it's often not possible to be face-to-face with a friend, and sometimes there are ways to support a friend using online text or other online methods. In session 5, we talk about substance use, and we specifically explain the recovery position, which is a little bit of a more traditional first aid, but it's an important aspect and it's very much related. As the prevalence of opioid use and other substance use issues increases, it's important that teens have the ability to help a friend who might be overdosing and get help immediately. We practice the action plan again, and we do some role playing around helping a friend who is developing substance use challenges. And then in the final session, we talk again about recovery and resilience. We review a lot of resources and links. The teens do some self-reflection and takeaways, and we have a graduation ceremony where they receive the certificate. It's important to know that each of the teens that completes all 6 sessions will be certified as a teen mental health first aider. They receive a certificate, and their names are submitted to the National Council for Mental Wellbeing as certified teen mental health first aiders. This is the action plan, the 5-step action plan that I mentioned a few times. And basically the way we teach it is look, ask, listen, help your friend. And each of those steps, of course, have more detail, but the concept of looking, asking, and listening is key. We want teens to be able to look in the sense of look and really see what's happening with their friends, look for warning signs, and find ways to ask them directly and caring about how they feel, ask them what's going on, and then really listen, actively listening, and then if necessary, help them connect with adult and help reinforce the idea that the friendship is important. And of course, this is a very distilled version of an action plan that we review over 6 hours. At the end of each session, we review this slide and we talk about school and community supports, and the teens each receive a folder that includes school and community supports that are specific to their community. So it might include local mental health providers, hotlines, etc., that are available in their region. And then we review this National Suicide Prevention Line, which is really, really important that they have in their phones. And we ask them to take a picture of this slide so they have this in their phones. And we review the crisis text line, which is also available for free 24/7 to teens. So that concludes this overview. If you want to find out more about what we're doing with Teen Mental Health First Aid, if you go to the bit.ly link at the top of this screen, it's bit.ly/about Teen Mental Health First Aid, or about tMHFA. There'll be more on our website on that page explaining the program and providing some documentation and links to the research. It's worth noting that this program has been well researched, it's evidence-based, and it's shown to be effective in a few areas. Most importantly, it's effective in reducing stigma around mental health first aid, and that's one of the key things that we're trying to accomplish. And it's effective in increasing the likelihood that a young person, that a teen, will seek help from an adult for a friend. And again, very, very important thing that we're trying to teach them, that it's okay to get help. So that really is the overview. Again, if you want to find out more, you can certainly go to our website. You can email info@myagoldfoundation.org for specific questions, or of course talk to the contact person in your school or community setting, or go to our website. And thank you so much for being open to this program and for welcoming this teen mental health first aid training into your school or community.